I started getting sharp pains after I had ran one time, because I'm like, I'm 27, so what could it really been? And he was like, you're having a heart attack. I'm like, what do you mean I'm having a heart attack? I'm 27. He was like, no, you're having a heart attack right now.
When I met Marcus, he looked like a linebacker for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was super fit, he was active. He's the last guy that you would ever think would have this kind of disease.
He was presented to me as this patient that was young and healthy, but had very severe coronary artery disease.
I looked at Marcus and I shared his story with some of my colleagues, and his numbers didn't fit what we saw either. His numbers looked relatively good. We put together a multidisciplinary group of physicians and scientists and nurses and trainees and students to look at unique cases and look at unique patients who had diseases that we couldn't explain.
We knew that Marcus would be a great candidate for gene discovery for his disease, and so that started to paint a picture of us of maybe this was an inherited disease.
We took some cells from his cheek and we did a genetic analysis and found a mutation that we thought might be causing his problem.
My good cholesterol doesn't work the way it needs to work. That's kind of the gist of what I got. And so they're trying to figure out a way to help that.
So the interesting part of this story is we really discovered something that's never been discovered before, because Marcus has a rare mutation that he could only get from his parents. The best news of this whole story is that we were able to tell Marcus that his children will not inherit this because it's only one side of the genetic mutation.
Traditionally, we hear a lot about science and translational science moving from the bench, meaning the research lab, to the bedside, meaning like the hospital. But the JV project kind of starts at the hospital, so like starts at the bedside and then takes that information and then works on it in this very translational and collaborative multidisciplinary science team, who then brings it back to the bench and then again moves back to the bedside.
We have all these questions and we don't know how to answer them. And they have all these tools to answer questions, but they're not exactly sure which questions they should ask. So when we brought these two groups together, it created this team approach of being able to solve problems that otherwise none of us could solve on our own.
That's why I used to tell people I'm just a medical chemist. I have no idea what's going on or how it happened, but it was kind of a relief, like, okay, somebody can tell me something about what's actually going on with me instead of nobody ever having answers.
It was a wonderful feeling to be able to tell Marcus and Cherie that their beautiful family was not going to inherit this disease from him. But we think this will really advance our knowledge of HDL and how HDL contributes to coronary artery disease.